And I'm back. Oh, so tired. But I'm just going to crank it out because I haven't done one in like 2 days, so you're welcomes. So, obviously a 2v2 battle. Bretonian Vampire Counts versus Dual Empire. I was scared. Jesus Christ, sorry. I was scared going into this battle because I knew that obviously Vampire Counts were very vulnerable to, the Illuminarch. And I was thinking, double Empire, this might be pretty difficult, especially if they brought Luminarch, so the battle, there we go. So in terms of army setup, my army is basically just kind of like a Bretonian rush type. I know siege equipment, anything like that. I mean, 5 pieces of cavalry, obviously very powerful. Crappy spears, just upgraded with just excess money, and then got the peasant archers, because every time I go against Bretonia, these peasant archers just seem to do a ton of damage against units I would never have thought would do damage to. Things like Great Swords, Black Orcs, these always seem to just beat the shit out of them when I'm playing against them, but they don't do that well, honestly. I'm playing with Scipio, or as I like to call him, Scipio Pessimisticus, because every time I play with him, he doesn't believe in the abilities of Gobo. He always expects what lose, which is kind of a shame. But in 3 months, that's what I'm giving it. 3 months, me and Scipio will be the greatest tag team of all time. We will be the internet tag team champions. We will enter in every tournament, and we will win every tournament with goblins and Norscar. That's what I'm predicting in 3 months. So, in terms of army setup, I mean, as you can see on the startup screen, you can see one army, which was kind of bizarre. Not a lot of infantry, a lot of cavalry, expensive cavalry. I mean, if you're going to bring shock cavalry in the form of lancers, then just bring Empire Knights, because of a Reichsguard are obviously better, but they're worth an Empire Knight and a Spearman, so it's a little confusing as to why people bring Reichsguard. But 2 Demigryphs Halberds, obviously, I mean, they're just over there doing well. Tactically, there was no tactics, honestly. I mean, my army is just gonna kind of get held right over there for most of the battle, and they're not going to advance till like really late game. Although the fact that they made a line formation was really great for me, because it meant that I could just spam my cavalry around. Although these Hellstone batteries do a ridiculous amount of kills, but the majority of the kills obviously against zombies. So honestly, looking at the army setups, whilst my guys were engaged on their Empire Knights, I thought to myself, what's really scary, and other than a couple of great swords that are hiding in the forest for whatever reason, I mean, are they still there, or have they moved? Yeah, they've started to move. They were hiding in here for some whatever reason. Kind of bizarre. But I knew that pretty much as soon as I get rid of these Demigryphs, my cavalry's just going to just wreck shop, and that's basically just what happens. My infantry does very little kills. My archers don't really do anything. I mean, my archers get absolutely hammered by the Hellstone batteries. And it was just going to be, the Horde of Horse, which was going to make the difference on my side, at least. And with Scipio's, it was, his I guess, flank was essentially just a huge grind fight. I mean, grinding with Demigryphs, grinding with swordsmen, grinding with great swords, and he ends up getting his general kill a little bit later on, which, I mean, what the hell is... Oh, big Vargas. So that was a bit of a problem, but the fact that I've managed to kind of... by the time his general's dead, my side is completely broken, or I've broken my opponent, so it's not that big a deal. So essentially, this fight is basically just... Scipio has to wait for me to basically just beat my flank and just come in with the cavalry, and then we're going to win, which his infantry does very well at just staying there. But, suicide charges and Vargas charges and stuff obviously isn't a great way to keep your general alive, which is, I mean, he's an inexperienced, so it's all good. It wasn't really that big of a deal. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, my army's just kind of all over the bloody place. It's kind of nice that these Vargas were helping out, just to kind of kill these knights quicker, but I mean, I got 5 Knights of the Realm, so... I don't know who I prefer, Knights of the Realm or Black Knights. I mean, they're both cheap and they're both great, so I don't know what I actually prefer. I don't know. What I do know is these Empire Knights are going to get absolutely destroyed, so... Yeah, as you can see, his Scipio's lines are holding pretty well, and the fact that he's got fear definitely helps. I mean, getting hit by cannon is great, and getting shot to pieces isn't great, but would have been nice if he just kind of like flew his general over there, just maybe support the Demigryphs, or just flew him out of the range, but... busy. I guess he was just busy micromanaging in other places, so losing his general obviously is a huge deficit to the army in the sense that it'll make them rout a lot quicker. But it's also, you know, I think you had Gaze and a Gash and Invocation from the Heck. You had all the, you know, the good spells you need. Yeah, the good ones. So having a Gaze and a Gash, shooting the Hell, whatever they call the Rocket Storm batteries, definitely would have helped. But I mean, it's just, you know, that's a retrospective type of thing. It's during the battle you usually micromanaging other things and stuff. So just to kind of sway the Demigryph battle in our favour, I just kind of flew the Paladin and Lou and Kurt in. I just wanted these Demigryphs dead. As soon as the Demigryphs were dead or were killed or whatever, I was pretty confident that you know, it was going to go our way. I mean, these are the only units that really threaten my Knights of the Realm other than Spears, but just a good rear charge in the back is enough to kill Spears. Not mention I've got like Peasant Bowmen and stuff. So yeah, Horde of Horse, just amazing. I mean, I get why a lot of people bring Pegasus Knights, because obviously they're flying and they're good and stuff, but to me I just much prefer to bring 5 units of Knights of the Realm. I mean, they're great, they're very cheap, solid, and especially in this type of formation where they have a line, and it's really easy to flank. The fact that these guys are so fast with 75 speed for like heavy shock cavalry with 100 armor, it's just it leaves so many openings for these guys to just beat the shit out of skirmishers, cannons, and that's really what kind of swore the battle in our favour, was the fact that we did eventually manage to just take all of these skirmishers, and obviously the Demigryphs just got grounded out by the Graveguard and Leuenkoen and everyone. So I mean, without support from artillery and handgunners and quarrelers, it was just inevitable that we were just going to grind them out, especially with the amount of fear and terror we were causing. So oh, life was good. Today was a good day. Dead dragon, oh well. So yeah, I mean, there isn't really that much to say. It's just winning the engagements that were kind of, I mean, Jesus Christ, how many peasants? I mean, I definitely should have broken this up. The fact that I've got a big, you know, I've got a horde of horse, I've also got a horde of peasants, isn't exactly the greatest strategy in the world. Like, I must admit, I didn't really do that well in terms of infantry. It was mainly just the cavalry, because that's what I knew was going to win. I just wanted these guys to bunch up and just to kind of hold the line, and then kind of like a hammer and anvil type of tactic. Whereas I was hoping Scipio would be able to hold his line, which he did long enough to where I could also kind of just run in the back and hammer and anvil charge as well. So I mean, it worked out. We won pretty convincingly. It was technically a Pyrrhic victory, but I think that was mainly because obviously kind of Scipio brought a lot of zombies which are inevitably going to die, which, you know, the whole point of them is to die. So the fact that he brought a lot of zombies, I guess, kind of pushed it into a Pyrrhic victory zone. But as you can see, I mean, my Lords didn't get a lot of kills, but they did a lot of damage because of what they killed with Demigryphs, which obviously killed a lot of zombies and Graveguard. Spearmen didn't really do anything, didn't need to do anything, they were just there to hold. They hold it pretty well, they didn't really take that much damage, which is pretty good. Peasant boars, not amazing honestly, but it was obviously the horses that did well. The Horde Horse, Knights of the Realm, pretty good, not gonna lie, probably my favourite actually. These are Black Knights, the Sword Black Knights. Well, yeah, I'm actually surprised how well his White King did. I mean, this was a no potion lobby, so I'm not entirely sure what the White King was killing. I guess he was just kind of running in the backs of skirmishers and stuff, but obviously his Graveguard did pretty well. I mean, that one got a lot of kills, that one got a lot of kills. His Vargeist did relatively well considering they were fighting both Demigryphs and by Knights, but yeah, that was a lot of kills on the Rockstone, which I definitely should have tried to go after these a lot quicker, but I mean, against just, you know, Empire Spears and Empire Great Swords, there's usually, if you don't take care of them early, they are going to get a lot of kills, but again, it didn't really matter because these were killing zombies, which is the whole point of zombies, is to just be slaughtered, so his units can do damage. So yeah, tactically it was, we had an idea, it didn't really pan out the way, well, I mean, it wasn't as I guess aesthetically pleasing to watch as I hoped, you know, especially considering my peasants just kind of bunched up in a big circle, death blob. But cavalry reigned supreme, and yeah, that's basically the only thing Bretonnia is good for, is just cavalry charges, whether it be in the air or on the ground. So there you go, it's a quick battle for you. Laters.